All right, hi everyone. I'm John, this is Tom. We're working with Backpack. We're at Coral, and yeah, so we're both developers.
We're both developers, yeah.
I'm going to talk through what Tom's doing on his laptop. So we're going to show you how to build an xNFT. But for anyone here who doesn't know what an xNFT is, we'll just give you a very brief rundown of like how to set up Backpack. So yeah, firstly, we're an open source repository, so you can go to github.com/coralxyz/backpack, and then we have a releases page. So one thing to note is we've been giving out invite codes to people who are like really good at our waiting room games, and they manage to get the answers right. But everyone here has a cheat code. You can go to the pavilion, and we've got a booth there, and we're giving out invite codes. So if you go and find the Backpack booth, there's a QR code you scan. They'll tell you what to do. We're going to use a local build, and the thing that's different about the local build is you're getting features that aren't in production yet, so you're getting the latest and greatest stuff, but you won't have the username stuff. And you're definitely going to want the username stuff in the next few weeks. We've got a lot of things coming around the corner, so yeah, use the Edge build locally if you need to run it locally for now, but I recommend you get an invite code. So Tom's just going to download the build Edge version. And then to install it, you go either in Chrome or Brave. You want to go to Chrome --, so instead of like HTTP/extensions. And once you're in there, there's a toggle at the top right, and you enable developer mode. So now we've done that, we can get the zip file we just downloaded, unzip it, and then drag the directory onto there. And boom, you've got Backpack locally. So now, yeah, once we click there, Tom's just pinned it into the extension bar at the top. Recommend doing that, because otherwise you'll have to keep opening it up. So if we go to create new wallet, we're going to create with a recovery phrase. There's not going to be any sol in here, so you try stealing it, but there's nothing to take. Click next. And yeah, this is one of the big features of Backpack right here. We're multi-chain. So already we're supporting Ethereum and Solana. Obviously, today we're going to talk about Solana stuff, but we're constantly going to be adding new blockchains to it, as well as like being able to run xNFTs on the different blockchains. So we agree to the terms of service, next, and we're set up. So now we've got Backpack installed. You'll see there's 3 tabs at the bottom. It looks like a standard wallet view right now. That's what you expect. You've got your balances. But this middle tab, this is our special one. This is our secret source. And it says no xNFTs. So that's sad. So we should go and have a look at the xNFT gallery. And if Tom connects Backpack here, so this website is just xnft.gg. So now we're connected. So what can we do at this point? Well, basically, it's like a store of like all the xNFTs. Everything is free right now. We're going to have creator royalties, all these things, but it's still very early. So, yeah, which one should we show?
Flappy Bird.
Yeah, it's the most popular one. Tristan tried to show Flappy Bird. Technical gods weren't playing along, so we're hoping they'll play along with us. So there you go. That's an insanely fast Flappy Bird. I think our high score is about 3 on this.
It's not easy.
We wanted to make it challenging. And as you can see, Tom's popped it out as well, so you can like browse the web and stuff while he's using it. The other thing to note is, at the moment, we're recording the score locally, but with the username system, we're going to have like high score leaderboards, we're going to have invites, a whole sort of like multiplayer gaming lobby, basically. Right, so we've done that. Now, the next thing we want to do, if you have Backpack already installed and you had an invite code, you'll see that when you're on the xNFT page, there's an app on there called Simulator. Because we're using the latest and greatest version that hasn't been approved for the Chrome store yet, we have this toggle that we switch on. Because the simulator was confusing some users who aren't developers. So they're like, what is this simulator? So we put it in the settings. You go into preferences, and then developer mode, and then you toggle it on, and then close that, go back, and now we have an xNFT installed. It's a simulator. OK, so what's the simulator? Basically, it's something that runs inside Backpack, and it's watching like one of your local ports. We use port 9933, completely arbitrary. It's just the port that we all had free. You'll be able to change that if you want, if something's on there. But what's cool about this, we've got a CLI. So if Tom writes, and everyone that's got Node installed can do this. You won't have to download things and install them. You literally write npx xNFT init, and Armani did a tweet where he just wrote this, LFG. So that's the name of our project, so we're just going to go with it. So yeah, that's installed, so great. So now if we go into the directory, the LFG directory, and we run what it tells us to, so yarn, you don't have to use yarn, we're just using yarn, it's in our project. Yarn installs all the dependencies. This is pretty, like, I apologize if there aren't technical people here, but you'll be able to see what's going on. So yeah, once that's installed, we'll be able to run yarn dev. And what yarn dev will do is essentially run like our xNFT locally on a port. But it has hot reloading. So as you make edits to it, if you've used like any React or Vue or Svelte frameworks, you'll be very familiar with hot reloading. So that's running now. So if Tom now goes back to the simulator and opens it, hello world, yay, like that, the classic developer thing. So, okay, great. We've got like a really, really boring looking window here. Like there's nothing particularly interesting, but what's the interesting part? Well, we can start to make some edits. So now we're inside this xNFT context. We can actually fetch the user's like public key or their username. And we don't need to install any third-party dependencies yet. So we don't need to install Solana Web3.js. Or if this is an Ethereum xNFT, we wouldn't have to install ethers. We'll just have everything provided directly in. And there's like a few reasons for that. Like one of the big ones is to simplify the development experience. But another reason is just if these APIs and things change, if everyone's using like the same sort of thing when they have to upgrade the xNFTs, hopefully it will all work. So, oh, Tom's changed it to Hello Lisbon. I missed that. That's cool. So, yeah, I mean, another useful thing to have in this xNFT is the public key. So we've created some custom hooks. Here we've put use public key. So let's see if this pops up for us. I mean, it's not the most exciting thing yet, but we're getting there. Vim under pressure, everyone. OK, cool. So that's our public key. So now we have the public key. Like we know we're like connected. The context is all fine. If we changed our, if we added like another wallet inside Backpack, it would have the other public key when we're inside it. So we can do a lot of stuff with this, obviously. I think the first thing that we'll do is like sign a message, maybe. So message signing, for anyone who's not familiar, it's a way of proving that you saw a message and you said, yeah, I agree with that, in its simplest terms. But because it's cryptographically, it's a cryptographic proof, basically it's a way of guaranteeing that the person that did see that and say, yeah, that's that, has that address. They have the private key to that address, but they don't need to give away any of that technical detail. Like, it's just a secure way of doing things. So we actually use this message signing in the background when you sign in with your username into Backpack, because we don't want to store anyone's password. We don't want to have like any sort of leak news or anything like that. So yeah, we just use this message signing. So Tom's now made a button, and here you can see we're using window.xnft.solana.signMessage. So if we were using Ethereum, it would be window.xnft.ethereum.signMessage. We're going to try to have like consistent APIs. It's still fairly early days with this stuff, but now if Tom clicks sign, Okay, so what's happened here, we haven't created any of this API, any of what you're seeing now in this xNFT. This is actually Backpack. So this is our xNFT talking in the background to Backpack saying, I've got a message to sign, I want you to sign it, and then come back to me and ask the user to approve it. And this approval part is very important because we don't want people to create like, I don't know, like scam xNFTs where it's doing things on behalf of the user without the user knowing. So every time we do something like this, it's going to present up to the user and say, oh, like this xNFT wants to do this. We're hoping like in all cases, like it's something that the user's clicked. I think this might only come up from like clicks, but once Tom sees this, he can either say, okay, no, I don't want to do that, I'll cancel that, I'll give it a terrible review on the App Store, I don't know what it's doing, or he can approve it, and yeah. Basically, once you approve it, you'll be able to do like login systems, you'll be able to do gaming high scores, you could do like DAO votes type things. The other nice thing with just message signing is it's instant. So if we're doing this on Ethereum or some other chains that have got longer block times, we can still do some instant things. So I think the next thing we said, are we going to do a payment?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll sign up.
So Tom's just, we're going to make simpler APIs for this too, but Tom's just a bit of a legend, and he's going to write the code to generate a new payment. So you can imagine, again, if this was like, I don't know, some sort of like social chat app, or it was a game or something, and you wanted to be able to integrate payments into it, you'd write a few lines of code. Tom's doing great. So yeah, once this comes up, basically he's going to click the button, it's going to say, do you want to send a payment? I mean, it's one Lamport, it's a minuscule amount, but it demonstrates, so there you go. So this, again, we've not imported any Solana, oh, we have at the top actually. It's
just the Solana types, yeah.
So we're going to fix that. But yeah, so once this goes through, that would actually send a payment, and it's approved the transaction, and it's gone through. What were we going to do after this one? So we're both developers. We're not going to make you something pretty. I'm sorry. Like we should do something.
I think we need to direct them to the docs in the.
The what? Sorry.
The docs, the documentation for the.
Oh yeah. So if
well.
you go to xnft.gg, if you're interested in doing any of this stuff, we have a docs page at the top. It's just on the header. There'll be everything we talked about here is in there. You'll see that our API that we use for the React xNFT stuff, it looks very, if you've used React Native or React 3 Fiber or something else that uses React through the reconciler, which is, you're not just saying like div or h1 or something like that. We have custom elements. And the reason we have these is because we know it's like very early with Backpack. We don't know what the future holds for us, but we do want everyone to come along for the ride. So if we decide like, oh, Backpack's going to have like a custom theming solution, people are going to say, I want all my stuff to be pink or something. Or we just think, oh, like Backpack doesn't look right at this size, we're going to make it bigger. As long as you've used these custom elements that we provide, your xNFT will automatically adapt and adjust with us. So it's always going to look like it's part of Backpack. So yeah, we definitely recommend this the React xNFT route. We're looking to support other frameworks as well. But there is one other way that you can run an xNFT if you want to just get something up and running super quickly, or if you have like an existing service and you think, oh yeah, it'd be cool if I could, I have say, a big one for us is games. So a lot of people are like, okay, I've got this game, it's like in a Unity web player, I can do the JavaScript, I can talk between Unity and JavaScript, but I don't really want to have these like custom components. So we made this like little helper for the xNFT CLI, and if you run, can I get the terminal back up again? Yeah, so if you run npx xNFT dev space, and then -- iframe, and then you just put an iframe URL in there of, like, we don't recommend this route, but it's good for games at the moment. We're still working out like the best way to do games. But yeah, Tom, if you open that, you'll see that xNFT is like embedded a game. this is an open source version of Crossy Road that Tom sucks at. Yeah, it's on GitHub, but yeah, any kind of game and stuff. You can imagine like what this would be like, or any other kind of game. Like we were playing Pac-Man earlier. What else were we doing? We're doing like calendar apps. Anything's kind of open to it. Yeah, was there anything else?
So there's also the publishing flow. If you end up producing an xNFT, you can go through a publishing flow on xnft.gg to get it listed up here, so people can discover it and start using it. I think that's all we've got.
Yeah, I think that wraps it up. So we've got a Discord. If you come to either the booth where we're at the main pavilion, we're just in the front on the left. Come and get your invite code, come and get your username. You're going to want one of those soon. We've also got like an NFT collection coming out, and that would be very useful for that. That's all I'm saying. And yeah, any questions or anything, either look for us, look for Armani or Tristan or any of the Backpack people, and we'll gladly help you out. Yeah, good luck, everyone.
Thank you.